So about 2 years ago, I put out a video showing you guys the best HBCU teams to download from the Team Builder platform. And that video performed pretty well because it could be kind of difficult to find the perfect team to download no matter what you're looking for. And again, the reason why I didn't do a video for College Football 26 was because we didn't see much improvement from the Team Builder platform. But this year, we received a lot more when it came to creating the perfect stadium atmospheres for the HBCU teams that we love. So I thought it would be a great idea to update you guys on some of the best HBCU teams to download. And if you're new here, the J.O.C is where HBCU sports history of today and the past lives. And we also highlight HBCU representation in the virtual world. And to kick things off, I'm going to give you guys the directions on how you can go about downloading these teams we're about to discuss and any other team that you might want to download to make your College Football 27 experience better. So as soon as you load up your game, you will be directed to the home screen. So once you're at the home menu, you want to go down to the play section and select create and share. This should take you to the menu that allows you to access the download center. And you must remember that we have limited spots as usual. You can't download 40 team builder teams, which sucks because it's 2026. We should be able to download as many as possible and replace as many schools on the FBS level. But you have a limited amount. The slot level is 12 and you will have to manage that by going to the manage files section and removing teams that you no longer want to play with. But at this moment, what we're going to do is access the download center. So once you're at the download center page, you will see a list of featured teams. And these featured teams are some of the most downloaded teams or some of the hottest teams at the time that people are really giving a lot of attention to. But to download HBCU teams, which may never make this home page, we will have to hit the search button. On Xbox, you will be selecting Y, and on PlayStation, you will be selecting triangle. And by doing that, that will populate the search page where you can search by keywords or usernames, as well as the state or the brand. But that would just give you too many results to filter through. So if you're going to be using keywords to search for your favorite HBCU team, be sure to spell it out correctly. And when you have teams like South Carolina State, Alabama State, when you're putting the state part, make sure to not spell out state and just put ST. No periods or anything. Just Alabama ST, South Carolina ST, because it may result in a blank search. But if you're one of those guys who have a favorite creator that you like to download from, it's easier to put in their username. But sometimes those usernames can be pretty funky. So in this video, the teams that I'm going to be showing you guys, I'll make sure to highlight the creator name during the introduction, and you'll also be able to find it in the video's description. So if you search by keywords, you will get many results for that one team. And it's pretty cool that you can look at the teams without downloading them by hitting the preview button. And when you hit the preview button, it shows you the overview of the field as well as the uniform options. It also shows you the ratings of that team, as well as the team prestige, which may be a determining factor when you're selecting a team to play a dynasty with. And once those teams are downloaded, you can go back to your home screen and check them out in the Play Now menu. And with that being said, let's jump right into these HBCU team builder teams that I selected for this video. Now, this is only part one, and what I chose was to highlight the heavyweights of the HBCU football world, and part two will feature some of the underrated teams that I thought was captured pretty accurate compared to their real life representation. And first up, we got the Grambling State Tigers that was created by 27 King. And you guys know you can't talk about HBCU football without talking about Grambling State. This team has arguably the richest history when it comes to HBCU football, who is known throughout the college football world as having the most winningest coach in Eddie Robinson, who captured 408 wins with this team. What caught my eye with this creation was the accuracy of the Bayou Classic uniforms. And I also appreciate how he captured the Grambling G at midfield. The white away unit just did it for me. And one thing that I noticed about 27 Keem is that he doesn't like in a uniform department. All of his creations have multiple alternate uniforms, and he also sprinkles in the throwbacks. You gotta appreciate the decals on the field, especially in the end zone where the font is perfectly captured. And I also like this selection of the stadiums when it comes to his creations. He doesn't overdo it for HBCU. Now the crowd pattern is a little on the default side, but I think it looks pretty good. Now moving on to our second team on the list, we have Jackson State, which was created by MarLuthaKang. And I think it's safe to say that he is one of the pioneers when it comes to creating HBCU teams for college football video games. Now, a little history about Jackson State that some of you guys probably know and some people may not know. This is the home of Walter Payton. Jackson State has one of the largest HBCU stadiums, and one thing you gotta love about Jackson State is that their uniforms are not overly done. They have that classic feel to them. What caught my eye with this creation was the Sonic Boom uniforms that you guys see right here. And the stadium looks great. The backdrop is beautiful, and I love the JSU emblems across the wall below the fans. And now on to the third team on our list, which is the Southern Jaguars, and this one was created by 27 Keem as well. Yes, I know the SWAC is dominating the top of this list, and we already discussed one half of the Bayou Classic rivalry, and Southern is that second half. And that Bayou Classic turns out one of the largest crowds of HBCU football each season. And even without the human jukebox, I think 27 Keem captured this thing accurately. I love the detail of the midfield logo, one of my favorite uniforms in football. Southern has some of the most notable colors in HBCU sports, and their fans will make you remember, and their band will make you know their name. I also love the atmosphere that he chose for Southern. Nothing too crazy, and this is the same stadium that was used for the Jackson State team that we just saw, but you can see the uniqueness of Southern's colors makes it feel totally different. And now on to the next team on the list, we have the FAMU Rattlers, Florida A&M, and this team was created by 27 Keem, who is going to work this year on these HBCU squads. Now, one of the most interesting things about the FAMU Rattlers is that they once was a MEAC team. So the MEAC is getting a little love here, but they're officially a SWAC squad now. One of the largest HBCU athletic brands in the nation. And FAMU jerseys have that similar feel that Jackson State unis had. But one thing that makes them stand out is those colors. And they create so many uni combinations. I think you can kind of say FAMU is the Oregon of HBCU football. So the stadium that 27 Keem used for the FAMU Rattlers is different, as you can see from the Southern Jaguars. And it fits FAMU's true identity, and it kind of gives them that homegrown feel. And now we're traveling to DC for our next team on the list, and that is Howard University, which was created by ConsciousBuddah. Now we're finally in the MEAC, and you guys know Howard is known for their academics, as they're one of the most prestigious HBCUs in the nation. And what ConsciousBuddah did with this creation is great, man. I love Howard's red unis. They have so many uniform options. I love that he featured the Chocolate City uniforms, and you can see the red unis featured their old logo, which is similar, very similar to the Buffalo Bills. I also like that ConsciousBuddah captured the soccer lines on the field. Now that brings real authenticity. And the atmosphere chose for this team is similar to FAMU's, but I love what he did with the sideline colors. Made that Howard blue stand out along with that red soccer line, and I think the crowd pattern is beautiful as well. So if you chose to play with the Howard Bison for your dynasty, you're gonna have some fun with the uniform options. And for our next team on the list, we're sliding back to the SWAC, and we have Alabama State, a program with a deep history. You guys probably watch my Tavares Jackson video, and he is one of the legends for this program. And currently this team has Andrew Body, who may be the first quarterback drafted from a HBCU in a long time. It's hard to deny that black and gold. It just looks so clean on the field. And like I stated before, 27 Keem has so many uniform options. If you want to play with a throwback Alabama State uni, you have that as well. The stadium atmosphere is right for this team. The double-decker bleachers, I love the end zone logo, having the honeycombs behind the Bama State, and it looks just like the real life thing. And the jumbotron on top of the building, he did his thing with this one. For our next team, we're gonna stay here in the SWAC, and we have Alcorn State up next, and this was created by 27 Keem as well. And you guys know this is the home of Air McNair, Steve McNair, the last HBCU player to finish top 3 in the Heisman voting. And when 27 Keem went out and created this team, he captured every era, the modern era. He has multiple options for that. And he also featured the Air McNair 1994 throwbacks. And you can see the traditional feel for Alcorn. The backdrop, more of a rural setting, nothing too crazy, as he captured the small HBCU team vibe, but it's a lot of history here. And now we're moving back to the MEAC, and this time we're traveling to Morgan State, the home of Willie Lanier, the first black player to start at middle linebacker for a professional team. And this Morgan State creation looks lovely. I love the metallic helmets with the Morgan on the side of it. The Bears look pretty good in college football 27, and the field looks good as well. That multicolored turf, not too much of a contrast between the 5-yard lines, but it's enough to see the distinction. And the backdrop is something that we're familiar with these HBCUs, which gives that small team feel, that uniqueness. And now let's travel to North Carolina for our next creation, which is the North Carolina A&T Aggies. And this team was created by Yahweezy. Now, North Carolina A&T is not in the SWAC and not in the MEAC. They're in the CAA, which is the Coastal Athletic Association. North Carolina A&T is the largest HBCU by enrollment. I think they're slightly above 15,000 students enrolling their university, with 13K being like undergrad. That is huge. And the Aggies look pretty on point. Their stadium looks pretty unique compared to the ones we've seen already, and I love their all-white unis. Those look so traditional. I'm one of the guys who like the more traditional looking uniforms. I also like the modernization of some uniforms, but if you give me the old regular like the North Carolina A&T Aggies have, I'm good to go. The blue and gold fits perfect with those traditional type unis. And check out the stadium, a pretty big one at that. And now we're going up north with it. Back to the MEAC we go, and this time it's Delaware State. And this Delaware State team was created by Baldhead72, another creator name that I've seen a lot throughout these HBCU team creations. And you guys know Delaware State is riding pretty hot right now, with Deshaun Jackson at the helm and coming off a pretty good season last year. And this team right here has the most vibrant colors, the all red and the powder blue unis. They're creating some of the most unique uniform combinations the HBCU world has seen in some time. Now, their stadium isn't a huge one, but we saw last year what Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson did at Lincoln Financial Field. They were able to pack 47,000 fans there. So if this team continues to trend upwards, we might not be talking about a small stadium that you guys are seeing right now. And last but certainly not the least on this list, we have the South Carolina State Bulldogs, who are actually the #1 team in HBCU football. They come into this season ranked in the FCS top 25 and looking to have another great season with Chennis Berry at the helm. The reigning HBCU champs was created by Baldhead72, and he captures some of the most important elements of South Carolina State football. I love that he captured the Willie Jeffries field text right below the logo, as well as those all blue unis. The all garnet unis are classic as well. The South Carolina State Bulldogs stand out because you don't see many teams combining the garnet with the royal blue. I love how the stadium sideline looks, as well as the decals that are captured on the stadium walls. And we know South Carolina State Stadium doesn't look like this exactly, but it's close enough. And that's all of the heavyweight programs that are featured in this video. Hey, I put together a list of 11 teams and I wanted to get the best creation. It took me a little while to research these teams, find a few names. The creator that stood out to me early on in researching these HBCU teams was 27 King. As you guys seen, he had multiple slots in this video and he has a lot more. And you also see some other creators getting some shine as well. So it's not just one man doing the job. But I love the competition because it brings out some of the best creations that we've seen so far. There's a couple more layers that could be tackled, but it would take a lot of work, and these guys are already doing a lot for us to have HBCUs in college football 27. Now the other two levels are getting the sounds as accurate as possible with the little bit of wiggle room that they have, and the rosters. That would be crazy, but you know how much time that would take? And I like to thank these guys for putting in the hard work. And also let me know if I missed a few. Put them in the comments so everybody can have access to it. We're not trying to gatekeep over here. We're trying to spread the love. And as always, man, I appreciate you guys for watching this channel. And don't forget to subscribe to the J.O.C. and hit that like button, that notification bell, and I'm out of here. Peace.